Okay, we will start with the next theory, alienation. Guys, any doubt from the two theories that we have discussed? We have discussed about historical materialism, mode of production, Marx's idea about society and change, right? And we have discussed about class and class struggle. So now we are going to discuss again one of the most important theory, alienation. Uh, we have discussed about few statements. If you see, and I've told you, if possible, you try to remember. And here you are going to see a few more very interesting, touching statements. And if possible, try to reproduce these statements in your answer, especially in the theory of alienation. If they're asking this theory, all these statements, in fact, even though I've given these statements as questions, one or the other way I have incorporated in the write up, the PDF that I'm anyway giving you. Okay, so that is how you need to incorporate your answer, the statements, the quotes in the answer. So if you look into these questions, work in capitalism is reduced to mere labor in which the individual does not develop freely his physical and mental energy but mortifies his body and ruins his mind. So once we're done with the theory, you will come to know that this is related to alienation, and then you need to critically analyze that theory. Okay. So otherwise, if you read the statement, what will come to your mind? You are talking about something which you don't like, right? You are doing some work which you don't like. That is how you mortify your body and ruins his mind by doing this. We are going to discuss that. Guys, please turn off your videos. Adjust, if you don't mind, please turn off your videos. All of you. Okay. It is not the consciousness of man that determine their existence, but on the contrary, it is their social existence that determine their consciousness. Guys, we have discussed about this statement before also, right? When we discussed about his idea about society, we have discussed about this. That context also, this question can be asked, and alienation here also, this question can be asked. So as soon as you see this question, some of you will connect it to that first part, some of you will connect it to alienation. Both are correct, because in the theory of alienation also, the first part is anyway coming to existence, right? What we have done, there will be economic infrastructure which comprise of forces of production, relation of production, which shapes the superstructure, right? Shapes the superstructure. So this is the idea that you need to have if you need to write any answer from Marxian perspective. So what about this question? What they're talking about? It is the consciousness of man. It is not the consciousness of man that determine their existence. Where this will fall? Consciousness. Guys, can you tell me where it will fall? Is it in the economic infrastructure or superstructure? Consciousness, superstructure, right? So the consciousness will fall here. Do you remember when I've discussed about Hegel concept? I've told you ideas will fall under the superstructure. So these are part of superstructure. So that is what you need to explain, right? It is not the consciousness of man that means what they're saying. It is not the superstructure which decides what it is. On the contrary, it is their social existence that determine their consciousness. So your existence means it is related to the position in the production process, right? Do you remember last session we talked about class and class struggle? There we have discussed and understood class as your position in the production process, right? So that is your social existence. Your social existence means the class, right? Your position in the production process. That means you're talking about economic infrastructure. So it is crystal clear. It is the economic infrastructure that shapes the superstructure. That means it is your existence, it is your position at the production process decides your consciousness. You are an IAS officer, you think in that way. You are a capitalist, you think in that way. You are a worker, you are a peon, you are a clerk, you are a supervisor, you are a worker, petty bourgeois, or lumpen proletariat. You think in that way. You're a student, you think in this way, right? So it is your existence that decides your consciousness. It's not that, like, what you guys are thinking that that will come into effect. No, it is because your social existence is this. That is why you are also thinking in this way. Do you think a very poor man is capable of attending these classes and preparing for IAS exam? No, right? You are even able to think that you can prepare for this exam. You can attend these coaching classes and everything because of your social existence only. Either your parents are, if not rich, but at least you will be in a position to manage it, right? But think about others. They cannot even imagine attending classes or even getting materials itself. Okay, so the point is, it is the economic infrastructure which shapes the superstructure, and consciousness will fall in superstructure. It's not that your consciousness or what you think will lead to something. No, everybody cannot think in the same way also. How you think is all depends on what situation you are from. It depends on many other aspects, your background, your parental background. Ultimately, when we discuss from Marxian perspective, he talked exceptionally from economic side, right? Position in the production process. Production is important. So he is giving importance to economic condition, the economic infrastructure, the production. Always use these words: economic infrastructure, production, position in the production process. Even you guys are not writing class directly, mention these words. Instead of society, use the term mode of production, social formation. Like other students, if they let them write class, okay, instead you write position in the production process. Let them write society, instead you write social formation. These are the ways that we need to proceed, so that you will be writing like Marx. Okay, the person who's reading the paper also feel like the ghost of Marx is sitting in front of him and writing the paper like this. Okay, so that's about the statement. But guys, once we're done with today's topic, alienation, you may think that whether I should talk about this one or should I answer this statement with the concept of alienation. Both are correct. Some of you will stick to this, some of you will go to this, and that is how, once you have this conceptual clarity, guys, you can interpret in any way, and it's completely subjective. Marx is like, the way you wish to, you can interpret. Okay, so you can see his good sides also, you can take his bad sides also. Not bad sides, in fact, whatever he's saying, it is a social, his concern towards society, right? We cannot say Marx is bad. Maybe Marxists are bad, or this the so-called Marxists, they are not the original Marxist. Even these communist people, they are talking about that they are the followers of Marx and all. Even they don't know what actually Marx is talking about. You guys know that now very well, right? So okay, then this one, history of mankind has double aspect. It was the history of increasing control of man over nature. That is something which you have seen already. At the same time, it was history of increasing alienation of man. This is what we are going to discuss today. Okay, work is external to the worker. It is not part of his nature. Consequently, he does not fulfill himself in his work, but demise himself. Like, you do something which you don't like, this is what going to happen. Guys, you don't want to prepare for this exam, but your parents force you to study. This is what actually going to happen to you, right? That is what we are going to see in this chapter of alienation. So you will be alienated because you want to become an engineer, and or you want to become a doctor, and your parents are telling you to become an engineer, right? So that is what actually happening. That is also alienation. Okay, another statement, this is also very important, and you guys will come to know the meaning of each and every statement. Then you will better appreciate Marx and your knowledge also. In bourgeois society means in capitalist society, capital is independent and have individuality, while the living person is dependent and has no individuality. Okay, so in this society where we are living, the capitalist the capital, the investments, the machines, and the factory, all the objects, the products, everything have individuality. But the living person, the worker especially, don't have any individuality. In fact, he depends on the products that he create. He start thinking that he is surviving because of those products. Okay, that is also connected to this theory. At this point of time, when we going to start, you may not be able to understand these statements completely, but once we're done with the session, all these statements will be cakewalk for you. And the beauty is that, guys, if you see any statement, you will not face any problem. You will be in a position to directly understand this is connected to Marx. And then, because Marx statements are like, looking into this itself, you will come to know, right? You can see bourgeois society directly, you will be talking about Marx. Worker, that's enough, right? And then here also alienation direct, it is there. Consciousness and social existence, right? even when you discuss about these DPSPs, right, you have three different categories. Gandhian principles is there, liberal principles is there, socialist principles is there. Is it possible for you to mug up all these directive principles? No need, right? But are you expecting a question which among the following are socialist principles or Gandhian principles or liberal principles? Yes, you are expecting. But what we do, guys, Gandhian principles, seeing we will understand, like this cottage industries and cows and all those things. Here, similarly, socialist principle also, like equal pay for equal work, right? So seeing that, you will be in a position to understand exactly like that. Once you come across these statements in exam, you will definitely come to know it is about Marx. Then which theory, that is also getting very easy for you once you understand all these theories, so that you are not going to face any problem with these statements. Some of you have messaged me, sir, if I get a question based on statement, how will I recognize? I'm just answering to that question because I've told you that today's session I'll discuss that. Okay, so that is the reason why I've mentioned that. You don't want to worry about the statements. You are at the beginning only. Once you complete the thinkers at this stage, guys, even when I was also preparing for this exam, I remember I started like in the month of around October, I started. Okay. And then that year, November last was the main. So seeing that mains paper, I've seen so many questions and so many statements which has not been discussed in the class. And I always run to the teacher and I used to ask, what is this? How can I answer this if it is coming in the exam? He also taught me the same thing only once we complete the syllabus, and after that you will also go for some readings and automatically you will come to know all these things are directly connected one way or the other, and you will be in a position to answer. And I can see that all of you are in the same situation, and once we're done with this, trust me guys, you will be in a position to better understand, better interpret these answers, and some of you have the potential that they can also do it at much better than what I can do, right? I've seen the potential also. So don't want to worry about these. Okay, so what we will do here, alienation, we will first see the meaning means I'll be discussing the definition. Like, guys, alienation, the literal meaning is separation from. When will you say that you are alienated? Like some friends are talking and when you are moving to them, they are not even listening to, or they are not even care you, right? So you feel like you are alienated. So one of the simple definition of alienation is separation from. It's a kind of feeling of separation or feeling of estrangement. You feel like you're a stranger. Okay, like when you're trying to talk to some group, they will consider you as a stranger and they won't talk. That is also, guys, imagine a new student is joining in this today's classroom, so he will feel like a stranger. Especially in this online setup, it's okay, but normally in a classroom, if everybody is already set and somebody is coming on a new day as a new student, they will definitely feel alienated, right? So it's a kind of estrangement. You feel like you're a stranger, or separation from, or disenchantment, which is experienced from a group of people or from a situation. So that's a very simple definition. I don't want you to forget it anymore. So it's a very simple: separation from, or estrangement, feeling of estrangement or separation, or disenchantment, which is experienced from a group of people or from a particular situation. Okay, the causes I'll discuss. Okay, now guys, here when we talk about alienation, this is the definition that Marx have given. But apart from that, Marx is also talking alienation from the point of view of this creativity. This is what more important for us. Creativity means, if you remember in the first session itself, when we started off with Marx, I've told you man is a creative humanism. We have the capacity to create anything and everything. Okay, traditionally or from the primitive society onwards, we have the capability or capacity to produce. Man is above all homo faber, man the maker, according to Marx. We can do anything, we can create anything, but because of these present society of complexity and a lot of technical advancements and all, we are not really into that. Otherwise, we could have created everything. Whatever we need, we have the capability to create. So Marx says man is basically a creative humanism. And if you fail to visualize something in the society as not created by you, or if you cannot express something, yeah, video is on. So that, is there any problem with the this, what do you say, bandwidth, or are you not able to listen properly? I thought that's why my internet is good today. That's why I thought of turning on my video. Karthi, are you not able to listen? Guys, can you just message me if you have any problem with Audible or any clarity issues there? Okay, all right. Okay, guys. So, yeah. Okay, guys, the point is man is basically a creative humanism. You see something in society which you cannot express as your creativity, you are alienated from that. For example, you see this object. If you cannot express this as your creativity, you are alienated from this. And this creativity can be in different dimensions. You can understand either you should have created that, or you should have a control over that, or a kind of sense of belongingness. Now, if you have money, you can buy it and then you have a control over it. Then you're not alienated. You guys thinking about this object, you're alienated from this because this is not your creativity and you don't have any control over this. You don't have any belongingness to this. But for me, I'm not alienated because I have a sense of control or belongingness to this, though I have not created. So I hope you understood that. So you find something in the nature, some object which you cannot express as your creativity, you are alienated from that. Okay, so that is also one dimension, and in fact one of the most important dimension of understanding alienation. So far what I've told you is normal meaning of alienation. What is that? Separation from. You are separated from, estrangement, disenchantment, which is experienced. Now Marx is talking about alienation at two levels: alienation at the economic infrastructure, alienation at the superstructure. Guys, tell me which one will be important for Marx: alienation at the economic infrastructure or superstructure? You can use your logic and you can tell me now, right? Which one will be more important for Marx? Yeah, economic infra. Yeah, okay. Now that's it. Okay, fine. That's enough for me. So economic infrastructure is important. Why? The same logic, because economic infrastructure shapes superstructure. So why it is important at here? Because if you are alienated here, what does that mean? Automatically you will be alienated here. So I don't want to tell you about economic infrastructure or superstructure. I want to tell you that Marx talk about alienation at the production process that you feel. If suppose you are engaged in a company or in some production process anywhere, you may be facing alienation there. At the same time, you may face alienation from your home, your like religion, your friends. Okay, all these group also. So now tell me where Marx will give importance: production process or this one? Production process, right? Because if you're the idea is what, this is economic infrastructure, this is superstructure. If you are alienated at the economic infrastructure, you will be alienated at the superstructure. What does that mean? If you are alienated at the production process, you will be alienated elsewhere also, right? You are an IAS officer, right, or IPS officer. Do you think you will be alienated at the workplace? No. Do you think you will be alienated at your house or even from your religion or your educational institutions or anywhere? No. But imagine you are a worker. You will be alienated at the workplace. In your family also you will be alienated. Even your kids, they may not have the money to go to a coaching center also. So like you guys may need to attend the coaching, right? For not you, any other people, but you have this no problem. But imagine those people who cannot spend 1 lakh rupee and attend, or 1 lakh or 1.5 or whatever it is. If you need to go to Delhi and you need to attend a GS coaching, it's around 1.5 or 2, I don't know exactly, right? How many of you can afford that, right? So you will feel a kind of alienation. Why? Because you're already alienated here. If you have a good job and if you have money, you will not face that alienation. I hope this point is very clear. Similarly, even in religious institution also, like when you go for church or masjid or temple, those people who donate more, you will get more acceptance. If you're not donating, nobody will see or respect you also. Even at your home also, guys, there are two brothers. One is an IAS officer and one is a lower level. Who will respect whom, right? It is crystal clear, especially in these modern society, even at the home. So what is the point here? Now I'll make it very simple. Now what I want to tell you, all these things are just beating around the bush, and I don't want you to write all these stories in your answer. What we need to write in your answer is, Marx talk about alienation at the production process and elsewhere also. But for Marx, alienation at the production process is very important, because alienation at the production process will lead to alienation elsewhere also. Because this is part of economic infrastructure. Alienation at the economic infrastructure will lead to alienation at the superstructure. Guys, I hope this is clear for all of you, and the rest of the things I'll discuss, but understand up till this, we will just go through the PDF now. Marx uses the concept of alienation in order to deconstruct the exploitative production process. It is understood by Marx as a fundamental social process which constrains individual within a particular mode of production. Along with class struggle, the concept of alienation completes the dynamic explanation of society. Alienation literally means separation from. Okay. Marx defines alienation as a situation, just mug it up, guys. You don't want to do anything, just mug it up, okay? Alienation as a situation in which a feeling of estrangement, disenchantment experienced from a group, situation, society, and even the individual himself. You yourself may alienated, okay, at some point of time. You wish to sit alone and all these things. You feel like done with everything, right? Sometimes you will say that I'm done. This is alienation from self. I'll come to that, okay? It also referred to a situation of powerlessness, isolation, and meaninglessness. You feel so powerless. You have nothing to do. Isolated. You feel there is no meaning to your life. Experienced by people when they are confronted with social institution which they cannot control and consider oppressive. Although various institutions like education, religion, family, etc., may be alienating, but for Marx, alienation at the workplace is prime importance and the fundamental source. I hope this point is very clear. This is what I have explained just now. As now, the further explanations are coming here. As social institutions are part of superstructure, which in turn is shaped by the economic infrastructure, the alienation in the latter becomes a source of alienation in the former. Okay. The clearest exposition of his theory of alienation is found in the book Economic and Political Manuscript, and in the chapter titled Fetishism of Commodities in the book Das Kapital. So just these two anyway you need to remember. So what we have discussed so far, the meaning of alienation, the definition, and at the two levels, production process as well as the elsewhere also, means education, family, that means part of superstructure or economic infrastructure and superstructure. What is the fundamental source and prime importance? Alienation at the workplace or production process or economic infrastructure. You can use the words as per your convenience, but always use the better words. Okay. So write like a Marxist. I mean, the Marxist sociologist. Okay. Causes of alienation. First and the most important one is related to the creativity only. Okay. So just before I've told you, man is a creative humanism. So if you do something which affect the creativity, then he is alienated. If you find an object in the society or in the nature which you cannot express as your creativity, then you are alienated. Okay. Fetishism, Pavitra, you just joined now. You wanted to attend the live sessions and interactive session. And why you joined just now after 30 minutes? Fetishism means you maintain a sense of distance. Okay. You maintain a sense of distance. Like fetishism means it's like, I'll come to that when we discuss about the object or the product that you're creating in the factories. Okay, so the workers are creating the products, and over a period of time, workers will start thinking that workers are existing because of this product that he created. Okay, and why? Because you are getting salary for creating that. So what is the object here? Object is the product. Who's the subject here? Subject is the worker. Who's superior? The worker. Who's supposed to be superior? The worker. But what happens in capitalist society or the system is the workers start believing that he is existing because of the product, and he treat the object that he created or the product as fetishes. He tried to maintain a sense of distance because he cannot get that. It belonged to the capitalist. If you want to get that, he need to get it from the market. That is why he is using that word. Even we use this word time and again also when we discuss about Durkheim in his theory of religion. Also, we will use sacred as something which is fetish. Sacred means God. You maintain a sense of distance. We consider it as fetish, a supernatural force like that. That is the meaning. Maintaining a sense of distance. Okay, I'll come more to that. Okay. All right. No, suddenly I saw now you have joined. That's why I asked you. Okay. Causes of alienation. So Marx understood the cause of alienation in the structure of society itself, which is based on the production process or the economic infrastructure. We know that the society is based on economic infrastructure mainly and the production process. Historically, different mode of production impose constraints on individuals' creativity. Okay. Marx's fundamental conception of man is of a creative humanism. We all are creative humanism. For him, creativity is essential for the nature of man. He stated man was above all homo faber, man the maker. If a person fails to find an object in nature which he cannot consider as the expression of his creativity, he is alienated. I've given you this example, right? This pen. If you cannot express this as your creativity, you are alienated. The feeling of creativity is symbolized by a sense of identification. That means you created that, or belongingness, it belongs to you, or control. You can control that. Different modes of production hindered the realization of creativity of human beings. For example, in ancient mode of production, slaves' creativity is hindered because he was the property of masters. So there was a limitation. In feudal mode of production, serfs are alienated because they lose the sense of control over the product. Why? Because you need to pay a part of the produce to the feudal lords. In capitalism, worker is alienated from the whole work process as well as the product. Okay, guys, I'll explain this one more importance. I'll give more importance to this. Work process means work belongingness and control means something which you can control, that is completely under your control. Belongingness means it belongs to you. You may not have control or anything, it may belong to you. Maybe you can take that English word meaning itself. Okay. Work process means in capitalism it is based on industrialization, right? So everything is done with the help of technology or machines, and machines will do all the work and you have very limited role. Man only control or mans the machine. He have no other role to do. Everything is designed, everything is prefixed, pre-designed, decided. So you just need to look after the machines, what all things it is done. So do you have any opportunity to express your creativity? No, for Marx. But modern day people will say that because of technology, because of advancements, you can, that enhanced your creativity. That is criticism. But for Marx, you could have done everything yourself, but because of machines and everything, now your creativity is actually hindered because you are just manning the machine, you are just controlling the machine. Like, what is your job? You just switch on, switch off. Everything is done by machines, which is energized by the inanimate sources of energy. Okay. And you are alienated from the product. Why? You create the product, but does that belongs to you? No. It belongs to whom? Capitalist. What if you need that same product? You have to pay money and you have to get it from the market. So you are alienated from the production process or the work process and the product. Two types of alienation. I'll come back to this again. Okay. So in the case of capitalist society, the degree of powerlessness is so high that a worker tends to consider the products or commodities as fetishes. Okay, so Pavitra, I hope you can see now something which is superior. Like, he create the object or the product, but he feel that he is existing because of the product. So he treat the product as superior. So now there is a very famous statement also. In the capitalist society, the relationship between the object and the subject reverse. I hope you know what is object and what is subject. What is object? The product. What is subject? The worker. Reverse means the object becomes subject master. The relationship should be other way, right? The subject, the man, should be the master or the superior of the product that he is creating. But in capitalist system, the reverse relationship is what you see. So remember the statement. I think it will come here anywhere, but otherwise also you just remember, In capitalist society, the relationship between the object and the subject reverse. The object become the master of the subject. If you're not using machines and all, like artisans, those kinds of work, okay, you can express your creativity. But we are talking about capitalist system where everything is produced by using machines, right? The product tend to control the existence of the worker as workers generate a feeling that their existence is because of that product. Guys, I hope this is very clear to you. Thus, Marx states in bourgeois society, in capitalist society, capital is independent and has individuality, while the living person is dependent and has no individuality. So I hope you guys can connect it to the question that was seen before in the beginning itself. And I've told you I've incorporated those statements in one or the other way in the answer. So you can now understand how I am preparing my answer and how we proceed further with the incorporation of these statements. Okay. Now we will discuss about social change. Okay. Now, guys, one more thing that I want to tell you is, I've told you you will be facing hindrance in different societies. Like you can show that in a diagram like this. Alienation or degree of alienation. See here, in the primitive society, like this is primitive communism, this is ancient mode of production, then feudal mode of production, then capitalist mode of production, then what? Socialist mode of production, and then communism. In primitive communism, actually alienation is very less. That means the you will face some constraints from the nature only, but it will increase in ancient because now from nature also some restriction is there, but you may overcome because of the tools and techniques, but you are a property of the masters. And then in feudal it is increased further, it reaches at its peak in capitalism, it reduces in socialism before end in communism. Now, can anyone explain or tell me why in primitive communism I have said it is less, and in communism I am saying it ends in communism? Both primitive communism and communism are of equal concept, right? Everybody is equal, no private property. Then what is the difference? Why here I said it is less and here I am saying no?
It's because in primitive communism, basically nature dominates man. In
Yes,
communism,
exactly.
whereas exactly man
Exactly.
dominates the nature. Subject-object relation will change totally.
Yes, yes, yes. In primitive communism, although everybody is equal and everybody can express creativity and everything, but the point is you face some constraints from the nature, right? You don't have much technological advancements or anything. But now here you are capable of controlling the nature completely. You have everything. But at the same time, you have the choice to produce whatever you want. You can contribute to guys. Do you remember that statement I've told you? What is that statement? Income. I don't get that in the that's beginnings and word. So I can do one thing today, another tomorrow, to fish in the morning, to hunt in the afternoon, to rear cattle in the evening, and criticize after dinner, without being a hunter or a fisherman or a herdsman or a critic, right? That means I can do whatever I want. I can express my creativity. I think it is coming in this chapter, this topic itself. You'll see that statement towards the end. Okay. So I hope this diagram, I don't know whether it is there or not. You guys just take it down. Okay. Okay. For Marx, history of mankind has double aspect. It was history of increasing control of man over nature. At the same time, it was the history of increasing alienation of man. Guys, can anyone tell me about this statement? What do you mean by this double aspect? What is that? History of increasing control of man over nature. Yes. At the same time, it was the history of increasing alienation of man. What is that?
uh, Increasing technology advancement as well as uh, in hand of nobody has a control over the product.
Okay, that is related to product, but talk
Or
about
else we
creativity.
can bring over mechanical solidarity or organic solidarity.
No, forget about
Uh,
organic solidarity. Who is this talking? Praveen. Oh, that is related to Durkheim that we don't want to discuss at this juncture. Here I'm talking specifically about Marx. Okay, so it was a history of increasing control of man over nature, simple technological advancements, and the very same technological advancements is affecting your creativity. Why you guys are talking about no equal distribution and all these things? No, I'm talking about creativity. You are technologically so much advanced, but this advancement itself is affecting your creativity. You are becoming lazy. You are losing your creativity. That is what, on one side, technological advancements is there. Another side, you're losing your creativity because of the same technology. That is what you mean by double aspect. Talk about the same thing when we discuss about double aspect. No, here you're talking about one thing X, and there you're talking about Y. No, if I'm talking about X, I need to talk about X complement, X dash. I should not talk about Y. Then why I need to talk about double aspect, right? So according to Marx, alienation is a dynamic concept which gets expressed in two ways in society. In terms of increasing alienation within a particular mode of production. Guys, within you will see increasing alienation. For example, in capitalist society, do you think what we have seen in 18th century and 19th century is the same as that of 20th century? No, right? So much of changes happened in the forces of production. Forces of productions are getting advanced, right? What does that mean? Alienation increasing or decreasing?
Increasing.
Increasing. So within a particular mode of production, alienation increase or decrease? Increase. Why? Because of increase in force, change in FOP, right? Similarly, increase in degree of alienation in different modes of production, correct? Ancient to feudal to capitalism, we have seen it is increasing. Like it is given here, it was least in primitive communism. Remember this word. I'm not saying it was, there is no, I'm not saying alienation is not there in primitive communism. Alienation is there, but less. But alienation disappear in communism. Okay, remember what I've told you. Don't write that. Some of you have this confusion. Some of you have seen that you will draw this. Even after I am repeating like this, people, when you're writing the test, you keep on writing, drawing this. It was least in primitive communism, and I've mentioned it here. Why? Because you face restriction from nature. Starts increasing in ancient, further in feudalism, and reaches at its peak in capitalism. It will decrease in socialism and ends in communism. Okay? What do you mean by this one? Increase in alienation within particular mode of production. That's what written here. Within any society, material forces develop. What do you mean by material forces, guys? Forces of production. Okay? Mainly tools and techniques. In such a way that the exploitation of have-nots keeps on increasing. Gradually, more and more constraints are visible on individual's creativity. Then he becomes alienated. Okay? Then degree of alienation in different modes of production. According to Marx, degree of alienation has increased throughout history. In primitive communism, man only feel constrained from nature in terms of production. No problem. In ancient, guys, this one is mode of production. Ancient mode of production. But by seeing this, you should be in a position to understand. If not, then I don't want to tell anything, right? You should be in a position to read it like, even though I have written memes, you should be in a position to read it as mode of production. Although slaves are the property of masters, they are independent of their own personal sphere in number of ways. For example, slaves found expression of creativity in the process of their daily living by making, wearing clothes, eating food, etc. So some kind of creativity was there. But gradually, alienation increases as the demand for more food leaves them little time for creative expression. In feudal mode of production, serfs find creative expression in the production process, which is in their control. But alienation begins when the serfs have to pay the part of the produce to feudal lords. It gradually increased with increase in demand for more part of produce. Okay, so guys, what is the beauty here is like in every theory we are talking about ancient, feudal, capitalism, socialism, communism. Everywhere it is repeating. But now this diagram, here you start, okay? Now I got the reason why just before I've told you people are drawing this one. Even though I'm saying, but people are seeing this and reading, right? So that is the reason why you can make it like this, okay? And complete that, whatever I've told you. This is primitive communism, ancient, feudal, capitalism, socialism, and communism. Okay. So it's my bad. It's my mistake. But anyway, I'm telling it many times, even that you can read also, right? Okay. Now we will discuss the most important one, capitalism. Okay, guys, in capitalism, alienation is more. Why? Because of the nature of production process. What is that nature of production process? Everything is done with the help of machines. What is your job? Your job is just to look after the machine. Go, switch on, wait there, switch off. Production is done by the machines. Okay, so in this, because of the specific nature of production in the capitalist system, you can see four types of alienation or four levels of alienation. And guys, just mug it up, any question, whether it is 10 marker or 20 marker they're asking, you write alienation in capitalism, just reproduce these four. If possible, one line about each four you need to explain also. Okay, so alienation from production process. This is what we have seen already. Why alienation from production process? Because everything is done by machines, you have nothing to do. Then alienation from product. Why from product? Because the product does not belongs to you, it belongs to the capitalist. If you need it, you have to get it from the market. So you are alienated and you treat this as fetishes. And if you remember, I've told you in capitalist society, the relationship between the object and subject reverse, and the object become the master of the subject. Okay. And the third one, alienation from fellow workers. Guys, in capitalist system, the work is compartmentalized. That means this different section of people will do different tasks, right? Because of especially division of labor. You take the car manufacturing company, somebody will fit the engine, somebody will create the body, somebody will fix the door, somebody will screw, somebody will fix the dashboard, right? Somebody will do the other mechanical parts. So the work is compartmentalized. Because of that, you don't have any connection with the fellow workers. So you are alienated from the fellow workers also. And finally, the most dangerous form of alienation, that the work becomes a means of survival. You do not enjoy the work, you're just doing it because your family need to survive, you need to survive. It is just like mortifying your body and ruining your mind. So work is just a matter of survival, you're not enjoying anymore. This is the stage of self alienation or alienation from self. That's the most dangerous form. Okay. Work from home, actually people are enjoying, no? Now, guys, in the office, earlier people used to, okay, going with office and everything is fine, but now everybody love this individual lifestyle and everything, right? Work from home, how many of you, I have seen many people, many of my friends, you are an IT professional, you have a system here that related to your work, there is another 3 systems here that is for trading, and everybody do the trading, punch the order and look into the charts here. Okay, you make money here, you make money here. In workplace, you can't do that. So this is not alienation. Here, you have more creativity and many more, no, because nobody is monitoring, right? I've seen and I can see that also. My friends are doing it along with me. So these are the 4 levels which you need to write. Okay, now here, okay, this 4, I hope this is clear. Production process, product, fellow workers, and self. Okay, here, can you tell me alienation at the, he's talking about living and non-living alienation. Okay, I'll come to that later. So here, in capitalism, alienation reaches at its peak. According to Marx, capitalism is the most exploitative system which defines each and every sphere of workers' life. Alienation occurs due to specific material condition or the system of production which is typical to capitalism. Things are produced in capitalism through factory system using machines. The production process is defined by the machines and is energized by inanimate sources of energy. The workers only control the machine in a particular manner and irrespective of his will. Due to the specific nature of production process, alienation occur at 4 levels. What are they? Process of production, product, fellow workers, and self. Guys, never forget this, okay? Never ever forget this. And you should not. Once you're done with this session, then there is no point in, even if you want to, I don't think that you can forget these 4, because that's the way we are doing mass, right? Alienation from process of production. The process of production is defined irrespective of the ability or individuality of the worker. Worker only control the machines and he's having no control over it. I mean, man's the machine. he can't do anything with that. He just go watch. That's it. That means he is alienated. Alienation from the product. In capitalism, the product belongs to the capitalist. Workers have no control over the quality, quantity, or nature of the product. Workers have to purchase the same product from the market which he produces. Gradually, he starts feeling that the product is superior to him and treats the product as fetishes. Thus, he is alienated. Thirdly, alienation from fellow workers. Worker is equally dissociated from the fellow workers as the work is compartmentalized. I hope you understood the meaning or what I mean by this. He gets little time to interact with the fellow workers within or outside the factory. He is estranged from his fellow worker, right? Alienation from self. Finally, the worker feels so helpless that they even doubt their existence. They feel a sense of loss of control, not only over their action but also on their ideas. For the purpose of survival, work becomes compulsory and is not a matter of choice. Marx termed this state as self-alienation, that is, one's alienation from oneself. Thus, Marx emphasizes alienation both from man and things. Man, living, things, non-living. Tell me, guys, alienation from man and things. Which among this are alienation from man and which among this are alienation from things, or living and non-living?
Living,
Process of production.
and self-alienation. Non-living production and product.
Non-living, production, process, and the product. Living, fellow
Fellow
workers,
workers
and self-alienation. Okay, so that is clear. Write that also, okay? Guys, do you want me to explain the statement again? I hope this is clear now. In capitalism, the relationship between the subject and the object is inversed. The object becomes the subject. Subject's master. That's enough. Subjects of this is not required, guys. Subject's master. According to Marx, alienation in capitalism also exists at the level of ideas. That is, the consciousness of an individual is also estranged from one's own self. This is very important, guys. What he's saying is, even your consciousness, that is what I've connected to that statement. Do you remember? That statement can be explained by using the previous theory also and by using this theory also. Okay, your consciousness is also estranged from yourself. No, it is all connected to the production process. Okay. Now here, another concept that I can tell you is, what do you think as per this? Are the workers only alienated or even the capitalist also alienated? Guys, the beauty of this theory is that he is also saying that, okay, workers are alienated, but the capitalists are also equally alienated. Now, tell me, why capitalists are alienated? Because they are doing all these things. They are exploiting, they are profit motive and everything because of the system. It is not because individually they are and they want to, they're doing it. It is not that they are exploiting the workers. It is a system which is telling you to exploit the worker. If not, now imagine two capitalists, A, B. Okay, yes, competition, right? A, B. There's a capitalist, there's a capitalist. This A is very strict and B is very liberal, a very good person. He want to give all the facility to the worker, more wages. You work for less time, okay, and better working conditions and everything. But this guy is very strict, less wages, very strict, work more, and not much living conditions, nothing. So his expenditure is very less because he is not providing too much wages or better conditions. Expenditure is very less, and the income is more because he is working more time, asking the workers to more time. The product is more. So let's suppose both are coming with a product. His cost of production will be more or less. His cost of production will be less. For example, some product X is the product. A can produce at the cost of 5 per unit. B may take 8. Now A sell this product in the market even at a double the rate. Okay, let's say 10 rupee, he can make 5 rupee profit. So he tell at 10 rupee, he make 2 rupee profit. Now imagine, A will sell it at 8 rupee. A can still make a profit of 3, B cannot make a profit, B cannot survive now. Either B have to sell it at 9 to get 1 rupee profit. If not 9, then what is the point in doing all these business? If you are making at 8 and selling at 8, what is the point in surviving, selling, doing this, right? No need. So he cannot survive. So the system is such that the system is asking the capitalist also to think in this way, act in this way. It is not that the capitalist who is exploiting the worker. It is a system which is exploiting the worker. That means the ideas and the emotions of the capitalist is also shaped not by himself, but the system. I hope this is clear. Marx says, yeah, that statement. It is not. It is not the consciousness of man that determines their existence, but on the contrary, I've discussed the statement many times, so you know that. In work, the worker does not belong to himself, but to another person, but to capitalist. Okay, because you are getting paid. It is a relationship of a worker to his own activity as something which is alien. Alien means something which is strange. You are doing something which you don't like. Guys, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Something which is alien, not belonging to him, activity is suffering as an activity which is directed against himself, independent of him, and not belonging to him. Yeah, Shivam, you want to say something? Okay. In capitalism, even the capitalist also alienated. According to Marx, the structure of society is responsible and not the capitalist. The capitalist is also equally alienated from his own actions and ideas. Guys, most of the students will write about alienation and everything, the 4 stages. There is nothing strange, nothing new. Everybody will write this. But this part, trust me, rarely 10, hardly 10% people will write. And I want you to be in this 10%, not in the 90%. Again, theories about the question will be alienation. You should also write about de-alienation, the reverse. This is what, again, I tell you, 90% people miss this. I want you to be in that 10% club. Okay, that elite club is where, because I've told you, if the question is about positivism, talk about non-positivism. If the question is about non-positivism, start with positivism. That is how this approach, right? We need to tell the examiner that all these are connected and we are a sociologist. That is how we need to answer. It is not like that maturity is what we need to show in our answer. So the question is about alienation. We don't want to write solution. Solution is de-alienation. Write this. Okay. De-alienation means it will happen in communism, where you will be able to contribute as per your ability and will be redistributed. And you can write that statement. That statement is his concept of total man. Total man means free from alienation. Like that statement, do you remember? It is possible for me to do one thing today, other tomorrow, to hunt in the morning, fish in the afternoon, rear cattle in the evening, and criticize after dinner. But I have a mind without being a fisherman, horseman, and a hunter or a critic. Just reproduce the statement also. It depends on the space and the time. Okay. So de-alienation, giving a theory of alienation was not the sole objective of Marx. He also proposed a solution. What is that? Communism. Mere abolition of private property is not the solution, but the whole process of production will have to be changed. Revolution, qualitative change is required. Alienation will reduce in socialism as the exploitation reduces, but still the individual is not completely free. Alienation will eventually end in communism. In communism, man will be de-alienated. His conception of de-alienated man draws from his concept of total man. Marx states, guys, just remember the statement is a very easy one. It is possible for me to do one thing today, other tomorrow, to hunt in the morning, fish in the afternoon, rear cattle in the evening, and criticize after dinner. I have a mind, but without becoming a hunter, fisherman, horseman, or a critic. Guys, this statement you can write in de-alienation. Also, if they're asking a question on being and social being as a short note, still you can write this, because here you see what is social being. All these, when I say hunter, fisherman, herdsman, critic, all these are what? Social being. You remember what is the meaning of social being? I've told you what you are in society, like supervisor, clerk, IAS officer, IPS officer, doctor, engineer, teacher. All these are social being. Being means what you originally are. That means you will not be branded as a teacher or an officer like that. You can do whatever you want. You have the talent in everything. Okay, so you can do whatever you want. Thus, in communism, total man will be defined and okay, identified in terms of one's being rather than social being. It is a situation which Marx explained with the help of a statement: reintegration of oneself to oneself. Before, I've talked about alienation from self. Now, reintegrating oneself to oneself. Guys, I don't want to repeat this, whatever I've told you, because I've taken enough time and explained it. So what is alienation? Definition: estrangement, separation, disenchantment, and then explain in terms of creativity, explain in different modes of production, explain within a particular mode of production, draw the graph, talk about capitalism, specific nature of capitalism, and then talk about 4 levels of alienation: production process, and then the product, and then the fellow worker, and then the oneself. Okay, and then also talk about de-alienation. So that's about this theory. Any doubt? Any doubt here?
So it's just an out of topic question. What are the hot shares which we can bet on?
Which one?
What are the hot shares which we can bet on or trade right now? The trading thing which you talked about.
Trading, I trade in Bank Nifty only.
Which one? Which one are you betting on?
Bank Nifty. Okay, guys, today only I made a profit of 13 lakhs. Okay,
Oh,
I trade in like Thursdays.
which one is it? Is it SBI?
No. Bank Nifty. It is an index. You trade on Nifty and Bank Nifty.
No. That Nifty 50, Bank 50 is only banks, right? Share has been
Bank
skyrocketed
Nifty
recently.
comprised of all the ICICI, HDFC, all these things are there. Thursdays are expiry days where the movement will be like, if you can, guys, this is what I told you many times, right? Even if you have good knowledge in economy, you will not face any problem in future also. Even if you face any problem in this, I used to make big money. This is like teaching. I'm doing it for passion. I make big money in trading, guys. Even today I made 13 lakhs. Yesterday, 1 lakh, 2 lakh. And I make good money in trading.
Could you make a video for that, or could you?
One room is full of systems only, 6, 7
No,
monitors I have.
could you make a video of this for which we can utilize it?
Not in Sensex Nifty. Actually, I am attending different courses also from international traders and all.
Sir, will there be question on criticism for this topic?
Criticism we will do tomorrow. All the topics we will discuss, and all the criticism, like all the theories, because they will ask you about this only, critically evaluate. We'll do that tomorrow. How the structure and everything we'll do tomorrow. Okay, guys. So we will stop here. No, guys, this is like how to write this much matter in 250 words. You want me to explain this in 100 words? I can do that in 100 words. I can do that in 1,000 words also. So, okay. So there is no question of asking how to do that in 50 words or 100 words or 250 words. It all depends on the knowledge. Once you have that knowledge and confidence and the conviction, you should be in a position to do that. Capitalists are alienated because their thoughts are shaped because of the system. They have the creative, the control and everything is there, but the way they think, their consciousness is not their own actually. Guys, what is it? Before that, I have made a statement. Alienation occur at the level of consciousness also. Before I talk about, you see this. Guys, look into this. Alienation in capitalism also exists at the level of ideas. And that's where I've told you. Okay. Anjali, actually no class today. Tomorrow we will meet. I have messaged you in the WhatsApp group. No mentoring session today. You joined, this is a sociology group. Okay, guys. So we will stop here. See you.